Hi, welcome to James Miller Lifeology, where you will learn to simplify and transform your life. My name is James Miller. I'm a licensed professional counselor and a composer. I wanted to talk with you today about the struggles we have with thoughts that loop through our head over and over and over, and we just don't seem to be able to stop it. Often we may find this before we go to sleep, or a situation happens and all of a sudden it just goes through our head. It's worry, worry, worry. And sometimes it's because of the thinking errors that we have, and that's something you can revert back to that in a previous episode. But what typically happens is when those thoughts loop and loop and loop, since it's internal, there's no parameter around it or nothing that can stop it. So since it's an internal sensation, what we need to do to stop that is use our external senses. So all five senses can be used in many different ways. So we have our sense of sight, our sense of hearing, our sense of touch, our sense of smell, and our sense of taste. So what we want to do is, if I have a thought, I'll give you my personal example for me. If I'm going through something that is just so overwhelming, it loops and loops and loops, what I will say, I will use my sense of hearing to say, James, stop. I will literally say that aloud. And so when I say this aloud, what happens is my immediate energy that I use internally is used externally to hear that. The way the five senses are used is it's used to keep us aware of our environment. Is there any danger? Is there things in which we need to be aware of? Where is the proximity of things? And so it's always used as a sense to make sure that our body is safe. So if I say, James, stop, aloud, what happens is my body is attuned to my surrounding. And so it takes that level of energy, let's say energy from 1 to 10, 10 is the highest there is. So the level of energy of these thoughts, let's say it's at level 8. So as soon as I say stop, it immediately listens to that for a split second, which reduces that amount of energy, which then makes me pay attention to that. And then what I'll do is I'll use another sense, perhaps my sense of sight, to look around where I'm at, to really look at the details of if there's a painting around, or there's a tree around, or there's grass, or whatever it is. If you really focus on that, and then once again takes that level of energy that's internal and moves it external. So that's one thing you can typically do. Another thing that people often do is, what I recommend to people is to take an ice cube. So you use your sense of touch. You take an ice cube and you hold that in your hand. And of course it's going to be really cold. Of course there's going to be water everywhere. But what it does is that level of energy is chronic. So it continually happens over and over and over again for that until the duration of it melting. But it takes those thoughts and it makes you focus on this. It makes you focus on the sensation of that. Some people use a rubber band and they'll snap themselves to initially get themselves out of it. Sometimes people will use, and this is a little more extreme, but sometimes people will take lemon juice and drink lemon juice. I don't do that, but some people might, because what it does, that sense of taste, it really gives you that. You really concentrate on that taste and it pulls away from those looping thoughts. So the goal is to break the energy from the internal cycle that goes over and over again by using your five senses. And there's multiple ways in which you can do it. Of course, all these should be healthy ways. We should not cut. People who cut use your sense of touch, but that's a completely different way in which pain is demonstrated, which is obviously not a healthy way. So anything that you can use with your five senses to get you out of your head is going to help. So that's what I really recommend for you, is to really be mindful of how to incorporate your external five senses to help you pull away from the energy of those thoughts that we just can't stop. It's very doable. I do it all the time. And so I definitely recommend it for you as well. So thank you so much for watching James Miller Lifeology, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you.